get it. There is and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She served my routine. But my father was a gambler way down in New Orleans. Now the only thing the gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied, it's when he's on a drunk. Yeah. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Or spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Well, I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Yeah, that red flowers in New Orleans, they go there rising sun. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Thank God I know
Well, good evening. Do I need to kick this show off?
Yeah, you do. There we go.
You were for a second, and then you froze up. Well, my goodness, I'm not sure what's going on. We'll let Joe work out the technical issues. I guess everybody can hear me. I see Independent Minnie's comments. I appreciate you having me back again. Lots happened since the last time I was on here. Wednesday, I was in Raleigh to brief the House Freedom Caucus and participate in their meeting. And this was the meeting when the State Board of Elections staff returned to provide some answers to some of the questions that they had given to them. It was also a follow-up to a Tuesday meeting where Representative Keith Kidwell, who's the chair of the Freedom Caucus, was actually allowed to have a technician inspect 3 of the ES&S machines. Now, apparently this was machines that were picked by the State Board of Elections. And Representative Kidwell made it very clear in the meeting on Wednesday that the next round of inspections would be done at random and by subpoena if necessary. So they are clearly ready to play hardball with the Board of Elections if they don't feel they're being as transparent and forthcoming as they should be. I met privately with several Senate members, obviously who are not in the House, therefore not part of the Freedom Caucus. And we wanted to say a special thanks to Senator Paul Newton. You know, when you walk into the office just to hand them your business card, you're in the receptionist room and their office is separate. And when they hear you announce your name, they get up and come out and greet you. That is a great sign of the credibility and the broad-based exposure that I've had in Raleigh to these many elected members of our legislature. The other one was State Senator Jim Perry, who's from down in the Goldsboro area. He has been a follower of mine on Facebook for quite some time, and it was quite evident from our conversation that he pays attention to my posts simply from some of the detail that was in his comments that he made. So it was well worth the trip. And Joe, I got to thank you. You recommended to me that I set up a PayPal account. Many of your viewers were asking if I had a PayPal account, and today I set one up, and it's already gone live, and I'm very grateful. Gotten a couple of donations.
Yep. And I have it pinned in the comments too. It's pinned in the video, but yeah, I don't want to hide your pretty face, so I'll take the comment off the screen. But we both got these beautiful mugs. We got to make sure the people can see them.
Ain't that right? Yeah, I got some catching up to do. If I stay away from my razor for a while, I might catch up to you there on the beard. But
you know, the only thing you have to do to grow a beard is not shave.
Yep, exactly.
It's revolutionary. It's a revolutionary concept. I also have really long hair. I always keep it tied up a lot lately, but my hair is probably pretty long as well. You know, I used to have dreads down to my butt. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cool. I bet you used to have long hair back in the day. Did you ever have a long hair phase, Major Dave?
20 years in the military, never had a chance to.
Yeah. But did you want to? You wanted to?
Well, right? when I was a teenager, I had longer hair, and that was the last time. And then looking back on it, and I look at those photos of myself then now, and say, no, I prefer to keep the clean cut look, and frankly, it's just so much easier to take care of for me.
I put on my nicer hat for you. I'm usually wearing my dingy work hat, but I got my nice hat on to talk to you. So
hey, I go in the shower and come out, and my wife says, "You're done already?" Hey, you know, the Army taught you not to dawdle.
Yeah. I'm still pretty quick. I'm hairy, but you can wash all the hair fast. I don't really know how that was. You know, it doesn't take much longer, you know.
But I'm grateful for the opportunity because I am just a real person. I'm just an average guy like everybody else out there watching and listening. And we have to remind ourselves from time to time that one person can make a difference. You just find yourself in a situation, a set of circumstances, and you realize that you've got the experience and the training to take this on. And the great thing about what I do,
It's always crooked.
I don't need anybody's permission.
Right. Well, and what it is, you started a ball rolling by yourself, but what happened next? You have people that have been supporting you. I follow you on Facebook. You have a large group of people who are behind you and what you're doing. A lot of the North Carolina Patriots really are starting to kind of hear about you, which is good. I'm doing my best to try and spread the word as much as I can, but
Well,
I'm a little voice. I'm a little voice. There's much bigger voices out there. So I'm just trying as a little guy to get the word out there, and we got the right kind of folks watching, and
see, they're the reason I do what I do, Joe, because they work their butts off to campaign for the right candidates, to recruit them, to help get them elected.
Right.
And it is just totally un-American to think that somebody sitting at a keyboard can flip a few digits and make all of their effort wasted.
Right.
We just can't stand for that. And so that's why I do what I do, because of everybody out there who's doing what they do. I don't care if the Democrats win, as long as it's an honest win. That's what the people in North Carolina want to vote for. That's fine. But you mentioned the next steps, and that takes me to some news. I may have mentioned it in the previous show, but we're setting up a new nonprofit.
Right.
We've identified some super PACs that have some serious money left over from last year. And we're actually, in the next few weeks, we're going to hire an SQL database administrator who can take all of these records that I have and put them in a database so we can search it in a matter of seconds and get answers, instead of the days and weeks it currently takes me.
Pop that back up there for a second. If you want to help this cause, this is the best way to directly do it. He set up this PayPal to directly fund these efforts. This is to go towards his cost to do this work directly. So, and we can also do a GoFundMe if we want to. I mean, there's other ways, but there's lots of different ways to crowdsource money. But
it's never been about the money, and I'm not going to let it.
I know it's not for you, but to hire an administrator, you're talking about hiring an administrator that costs money. So,
Well, that's why these super PACs, some of these super PAC donations may be in the 5 to 6 figure range.
Right.
We're talking some serious money here, but you can go through that in a heartbeat, hiring an $80,000-$100,000 a year database administrator who knows what he's doing.
Right.
Who's got the background to actually run the queries and knows how to write the code properly so you get the right screening from the database. Right. And when we do that, we will not only get more detailed answers from the database, but there are things that we cannot capture from the just the data files. And those are the screen grabs. When you like, if you look at the TV station, at night on election night, they're showing all the races and the numbers and stuff. On the state.
So there's a Dave, there's a conservative job listing Facebook group.
Right.
And I'll invite you to that. Because you can go ahead and list that like job up on there to find the right person. There's a lot of different conservative minds in that group all over the country, but we might have some local ones. Yeah.
Sure. Independent Mini said, Major Dave, can you see the chat? Yes, I can.
Yeah, and I'll pop up any cool relevant chats.
Right.
I'll throw them up here. I moved to my front porch, so I have a little bit stronger internet connection. I think I was a little weak out back. My joke might have also caused them to throw me off. When I came right back, I made a joke, and all of a sudden my signal dropped immediately. I was like, well, I am going to cover some more stuff later tonight in some weird zones when Major Dave has to go. He has to grill some food and do some stuff. He's got dinner plans, so we can't mess with the man's dinner plans. I would love to, Independent Many, whoever's in the chat right now, if anybody's got any questions for Major Dave, feel free to pop them up, and I'll make sure to throw them up on the screen. You were saying that after that meeting that you had, that there was some legislative action that was going to be taken relatively soon. Have we seen any of that come to fruition yet, or are we still waiting on the stuff?
But I have been promised that there are more election integrity bills yet to be filed. I think what they're doing is normally you file a bill and then it goes through a series of committees and they debate it and they make amendments and whatnot. Right. I think what they're doing now is they're doing some of the haggling before the bill is even filed to get all of that discussion out of the way so that when it is filed,
Right.
You don't have to go through all these amendments. They've got everybody's input.
Well,
they can file it. It'll fly through the committees and then go over to Cooper for a signature.
well, and I think that people should get into the practice of one-page bills. These bills don't need to be, 20, 30, 400, 500 pages long.
Oh, yeah.
If you're trying to pass a bill, keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Hey, we're going to go back to this constitutional aspect of our law that we've been ignoring, and we will make a mandate that nobody can violate these rights, these given rights. You can make a short, sweet law. They don't have to make it. They don't have to make it a mile long.
Well,
it doesn't have to be a big bill.
And we're blessed in North Carolina because the longest bill, other than the budget that I've seen this session, has been 5 pages long.
So that's good.
Most bills are only 1 or 2 pages long.
Good.
And that is good. They are trimming it down. What I was going to say before was that the data files is one source of data. But again, when you see those screen results, the State Board of Elections actually has other tabs on those screens. And those are the ones most people don't look at. And that shows the votes and where they came from. How many from Election Day, how many from one stop, how many from provisional ballots, how many from by mail, etc. Yep. We need to be capturing snapshots of those at different points in time, because that's how in the last election, I discovered that all the Republicans were losing 25 to 30,000 votes from by mail ballots at the same time their Democrat challenger saw theirs go up by an almost equal amount. Right. And I just know is if there is fraud taking place at the top of the ballot, it's taking place at the bottom of the ballot too.
Oh, absolutely.
I just can't track all these local sheriff's races, city council, county commissioners, etc. So we're going to start training.
I remember you had an interesting post about North Carolina, and you had a number of races that were decided by a very, very minuscule margin. There was a number of races you said that were decided by only a few votes,
Well, those were 2016 numbers that I quoted. I've not seen 2020 numbers yet for them. But in 2016, there was 109 races in North Carolina that were decided by 10 or fewer votes. There were 59 decided by 5 or fewer. And there were 2 races that were decided by a single vote. So every vote does count.
Man, say those numbers again, because I know you can rattle them off that easy. And I just want the audience to really just think, that many. You said how many under 10 votes?
There were 59 races decided by 10 or fewer votes.
Wow.
I'm sorry. 109 decided by 10 or fewer, 59 that were decided by 5 or fewer.
That's insane.
2 decided by a single vote. Yes.
That is just unbelievably insane to me. That we don't have to, so we don't have an automatic recall for elections that are that tight, or a recount law in place in North Carolina. We don't have anything like that.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm not sure what the threshold is at the lower, the local races. I know at the statewide race, it's 10,000 votes or less.
So we need to modify that by population for smaller elections. That could be something.
It's a percentage. It's a percentage.
But so they could. We need to look at that and modify that, because I think any election undecided under 10 votes, 5 votes needs to be looked at.
Well,
and needs to be hand recounted, forensically audited. I think that needs to be a standard. What they're doing in Arizona, I think we need to build that into our election system.
But it's up to the candidate to request it, though. It's not going to be automatic. If the losing candidate doesn't want to protest it, then the victory stands.
Right. Yeah. So we need to get losing candidates to protest their lost elections.
Well, that's what I'm trying to educate.
Now, how long do they have? Do they still have the same two-year kind of margin that documents need to be stored? How long do they have to file to contest? Is it only a couple of days after the election results are announced? What did we know?
They have up until the canvass. They have a 10-day window to protest the outcome. And once the canvass is completed and everything gets certified, it's a done deal. And it's my understanding, I don't know how legally binding this is, but when they pick up the phone and call the other guy and say, congratulations, you won, from what I understand, that's it. Once they concede the election, the ballot count no longer matters. You give up. You say, okay, the other guy won. That's it. You just denied yourself any opportunity to protest because you've already conceded the election. What I'm trying to make the candidates understand is that when you have a election system that can only show 2,000 provisional ballots
right
on election night, but then 38,000 10 days later, why would you concede any race if there's the possibility that there are 35,000 ballots still floating around out there that you don't even know about yet?
So I think that's got to be the new normal, is we're not going to concede until we analyze it. I think we need to get rid of these counting machine. I mean, like, machine counting is obsolete. We can have people hand count ballots on camera. There's no identifying information on a ballot, so we can all sit there and watch them in live time hand count every ballot with the tally.
It's against the law to photograph a ballot, though.
Well, we need to change that. We need to change that. We need to change that because, you know, it should be against the law to photograph someone filling out a ballot in a booth, but it should not be against the law to fill out a ballot after the fact, after the election day, because there's no identifying information on them other than it came from this precinct or this county.
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me.
I'm speaking more like on a recount aspect.
Oh, I know.
There should be no reason not to access the paper ballots.
But they were still mailing out ballots to voters in North Carolina last November after Election Day. There was like 3 that were mailed out on the 4th, 2 on the 5th, 1 on the 6th, and 2 on the 7th. The 7th is Saturday after Election Day. What kind of staff employee thinks that it's proper to mail that ballot after the election is over and done? You know, that may be a training issue. It may be the fact they're hiring temporary staff. But whatever it is, we've got to fix it, because that should never have happened.
Well, so all right. So here's another thing is that, man, I was seeing some people, different comments on like some of your Facebook stuff. And so people are worried that, like, all right, so they only analyzed, 3 machines, and then they said all of them are good or something like that, you were saying earlier today?
Well, they took a look at 3 specific machines, all manufactured by ES&S, and determined not only
200 series or whatever, the 200 series ones. Okay.
There were
they do run Smartmatic software, for the record. I've checked out that, and I actually did download their manual onto my computer. Most of it's blacked out, but I do have a lot of it, and it matches very similar to the Dominion manual. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not aware of that. If ES&S uses Smartmatic, that's news to me, but I'm glad you did digging and found that out. I know that the 3 machines that were looked at were chosen by the state board, as I understand it.
And I can be corrected if I'm not right or wrong, but I think there's an actual affiliation on the hardware end as well between the 2 companies. I may or may not be right on that. But from what I understand, I think that ES&S has been bought out by Dominion, if I'm not mistaken. And that could be wrong. That's just rumor. That's just me remembering off the top of my head. But Smartmatic is run on ES&S. That is true. But
I got to tell you, if you look back at ES&S and how they actually got their start in this business, they provide systems to all or part of 42 different states. And that is still not their largest customer base.
Right.
Their largest customer base is labor unions.
Right.
They cut their teeth on providing election systems to labor unions. And we know how fair and balanced and transparent they are, right?
So, there's some stuff. I'll throw up a CanCon Locals video later, because he does a dig into Media Matters and all the companies that fund them. And one of the major companies that funds Media Matters is right next door to Dominion Voting in the same suite in Canada. And it's I forget the name of the corporation, so I'm not going to even say it. I'll end up playing the video at the end of. I got to go make your steaks ready, but.
Well, if you want a bit of irony, the address for ES&S is on John Galt Way in Omaha, Nebraska.
No fucking way.
Yes. Can you believe it? It's crazy.
Man, you were one of the most interesting cats, and I got a direct contact to Bill Bailey today. I got his phone number and stuff.
Oh, cool.
We contact each other through email.
Right.
He can't join us tonight. He was busy, but what I want to do is set up a show in the future where you, me, and Bill Bailey all hang out and talk. Because
that'd be great. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you would send him the link to that 20-minute video of mine, that might help him prepare and get an idea of.
Well, in some of my digging, so we went into. I looked into my local guy and realized that he actually worked for the CTCL, and we talked a little bit about that. But then you told me some stuff about the founder of CTCL. I remember. Right. I don't remember if we had that on the last video, but I think she had a background from North Carolina. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, she was an employee of the Durham County Board of Elections for like 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that Tim, the guy who runs Forsyth County, he like worked under her and was like in that same boat. So I mean, like my county, like I'd be curious. I want an audit in my county, like as a person, as a plaintiff, like can I constitutionally like ask for that? Oh, right. Here's what I wanted to mention to you that I forgot about. So me and my lady looked up, and I've heard a couple people talk about this. So we voted early. We early voted.
Right.
And we early voted at a different site than our normal precinct site, or maybe it was our normal precinct site. It was our normal precinct site, I think. But when we checked back to our voter rolls the entire time, it looked like we voted absentee. And it shows that. And we asked about that, and people were like, oh, that's just how they classify all early voting in North Carolina. Do you have anything to say about that?
I do. And they are correct. Any ballot not cast at your precinct on election day is by definition an absentee ballot because you are absent from your precinct on election day. Even if you vote in person early at one stop, it is still an absentee ballot legally. And the distinction benefits us because all absentee ballots must be retrievable. That's why they put a barcode on each authorization to vote that tracks you back so that if there is a deficiency in your ballot or your registration or anything, they can go to that machine and pull your specific ballot out if for some reason it's disqualified and cannot be counted.
Well, I'd like to see that from 2020, absolutely, and see how it worked.
Yeah.
But so in 2016, I voted for Jill Stein.
Right.
Green Party candidate, and it was a fill-in vote.
Right.
And when I put my vote in, like, I mean, just the way those machines work, it's like, how many ballots can they fit in there? Is this thing really a shredder? Like, what the hell is this thing? And the guy in front of me is like, is this thing really just shredding all these ballots right now? Like, we don't even know. I mean, like,
yeah.
It felt like that, like that write-in vote probably wasn't counted, you know?
Oh, no. They have to go through them. They have to go through them and pull out the write-in ballot, write-in votes.
I'm 37 years old. So in my generation, when I grew up, there was a lot of quote unquote liberals or I've always been an independent. So I've supported independent parties kind of more than anything because I don't like the two-party system. But, you know, like I came from the generation where it seems like the Democrats were one way and the Republicans are a certain way now. And I think it's kind of, it's shifted. Like
it has.
The good, true middle ground people that like really support the Constitution and stuff, that we're homeless. We don't have a party, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think if the Republican Party doesn't get behind this movement and the energy behind it, it's going to be a lost cause. And that's why I worry about, even like I said, so our local, GOP, for example. So I'm friends with John McCain, the guy, not John McCain, Chris McCann, the guy who ran for governor in Forsyth County. Sorry, John McCain. Thumbs down. Sorry. Anyway, but Chris McCann ran against the mayor here. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted, but you know, he didn't complain about it. He lost by a lot of votes or whatever, you know, and this and that. But this is the first time the mayor in my town, my city, Winston-Salem, has been contested, you know, in a number of years. He's run uncontested for almost 20 years here or something like that, or like a long time. And I think that's a lot of local politics. These people have not been contested. They've been in charge of these small positions in local politics forever, and nobody pays attention to who the hell's there and who the hell ran.
Yeah, that's very true.
A lot of them, they run uncontested.
Carr made a comment, says, why aren't these board members fired for lack of diligence in maintaining the voter rolls? They fail their jobs on that alone. Actually, they do list maintenance twice a year in North Carolina. Now, that doesn't mean they take everybody off that should be removed. The problem is nobody really audits that and follows up except that county director of elections. That full-time director of elections is the senior authority. I mean, yes, you have a board of elections in that county, but that local county director is the one who's responsible for overseeing all of that to making sure it's done properly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, with that, I need to head out for dinner, but I appreciate you having me back, and I'll be happy to come back again anytime. I thank your listeners, your viewers, for tuning in.
And a lot of people will see it tomorrow and the next day. That's kind of how it goes. Very few people do live, but usually when I hang out with you, I get a lot of viewers. So I'm sure we'll do pretty good on this one. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And I will set up a talk with you and Bill Bailey. I really want to do that. And it sounds like something that's doable. He sounds down to do it. So, and you mentioned that you familiarized yourself with him too. So I'll get you both on to talk with each other because I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds
and
like says,
respect Major Dave. We'll put that one up on the stream. And Indies, thank you, Major Dave. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
These guys love you. And thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging out.
We'll be back in touch.
We will be back in touch, man. Absolutely. And I'll see you on July 3rd. I'm going to make it out there. 11 a.m. And maybe I'll try and bring a couple friends if anybody local wants to join me for sure.
Yeah, just look for the DJ. That's where I'll be running the sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And
friends.
Sounds good. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you later, my friend. Bye. Oh yeah, Major Dave, a true freaking hero in North Carolina. That guy. I'm not cool enough to actually have him on my show, but he's that cool, so I got him on my show. And we're gonna get Bill Bailey on my show, and we're gonna get all the cool people on the show because I'm cool, and I'm our version of Joe Rogan, the real patriot one, not the faker Illuminati kind. I'll talk with anybody. Anybody can come on the show. I can post up a link. Here, I'll go ahead and what are we gonna do here? We're gonna throw our invite link. Just go ahead and throw it into the live chat because it's just our friends here right now. I've got some news and stuff planned that I want to share with you guys, so I'm going to go over that next. But anybody who wants to call in and hang out and comment with me can feel free to do that. So, yeah, man, Major Dave is absolutely incredible. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, so if anyone wants to join in, feel free to click this. And I'll see you, and I'll plug in. Let's see. We're going to go over some of the videos I had loaded up for you guys tonight. I have I planned like I was gonna do a show, and then Major Dave was like, "Yo, I want to." He told me he could come on tonight for a half hour. I was like, "Well, you get the first half hour of my show all the way." Let's see. What do we want to look at? We're gonna check this out first. So we're gonna go here to John McAfee's widow. We're gonna do a little bit of a dive into him. And again, if anybody wants to come hang out and join in the chat, feel free.
John McAfee was not suicidal. I spoke with him a few hours before he was found dead. We spoke about the court's decision to extradite him to the U.S. It did not come as a surprise to either of us. We were prepared for that decision and had a plan of action already in place to appeal that decision. I blame the U.S. authorities for this tragedy. Because of these politically motivated charges against him, my husband is now dead. His last words to me were, "I love you, and I will call you in the evening." Those words are not words of someone who is suicidal. All Joe wanted to do was spend his remaining years fishing and drinking. He did not deserve to die in a filthy prison like a caged animal. We knew that there would be an uphill battle to continue to fight this situation. But he's a fighter. He's always a fighter. And anybody that knows John, that knows him even a little bit, knows that about him. He would never quit this way. He would never take his life in this way. I didn't believe he did this. And I will get answers. I want answers of how this was able to happen.
So there's a personal thing that was from John McAfee's wife, and I was like, well, yeah, she seems pretty passionate that shit was not correct. Yeah, kids and stuff making noise across the street. So here, let's see what else we're gonna do. I had a bunch of crap pulled up for you guys to check out together. So we're gonna see what we're gonna look at together. Yeah, let's go here. We're gonna go to Creepy Joe Whispery Biden. So this woman, she's really fun. Her name is Conservative Mama on Twitter. And subscribe to her on Rumble. She is pretty funny. I really like her. She's got some really funny stuff. Well, I gotta scroll back a little bit. Just watch a funny video, some lighthearted stuff here.
I got them $1.9 trillion in relief funds. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. You want to know?
I'll check that out for sure. We'll look at it next. I got you.
But it's got your attention. It's got your attention. The Second Amendment from the day it was passed limited the type of people that could own a gun. Okay? So flag keeps falling down. Pay them more. This is an employee's bargaining chip now. What's happening? And what kind of weapon you could own? I mean, you couldn't buy a cannon. Unless you want a cannon, you can't buy a cannon. You can't just go out and get a cannon if you want a cannon. It's just not possible. You can't have a cannon. Cannons are just not available. So, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Is anybody else tired? If you're going to take on the U.S. government, you're going to need some F-15s and some nuclear weapons. So good luck trying to find that. So let's be honest. I can do whatever I want. And you guys can't stop me. So the U.S. government is all powerful. And you are not. I mean, the blood of patriots and all that stuff about moving against the government. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men and women... I say this when I've lost my train of thought.
Just like funny as hell. Shit. Check her out. I just posted a link to her that status in the comment. She's really funny. So India was trying to post a John McAfee interview. I actually think I have. Yeah, no, I actually have the entire interview, and it's much longer than that. She has a 2-minute clip. I got a 23-minute version of that. So we're gonna play that shit. Hold on. Let me jump into that. Yeah, if you guys are down to hang out. It's early enough in the show. Let's watch this entire interview with John McAfee. He's talking about Bitcoin going to zero in this interview. So we're going to watch this together. I got it called up, Indy, already. That was already on my list of things to do. I got you so hard. I got you so hard, Indy. Let me go find it. Here it is. All right. Yeah. This video right here. We're going to watch this one together. Shit, what did I just do? Did something dumb. Is it? Yeah, it is that, right? Oh, sorry.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'll pop the link in the chat. I'm not going to pop it in the description because I'm lazy. So I'll pop it in the live chat. Feel free to check out the whole link here.
Virus and Ghost Token. John, how's it going?
It's good, Tom. Thank you for having me on. I'm very glad to be here, my friend.
So, John, we only have 30 minutes, so I want to jump right. Got two quick overall questions, and I want to dive.
I see you, Andy.
First question for you: do you think that crypto actually matters and it'll be ubiquitous? Like, is crypto a virus, or do you think it's the operating system that the world's going to be built on?
I mean, crypto is based on a mathematical formula called the blockchain. And the blockchain is the first technology that has not come from the bowels, the first world-changing technology.
This mad bastard did
has
it.
Not come from the bowels of a government black program within the military or from IBM, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, or some other corporation. It came from the people. And the technology, by and large, has been open.
Let me see if I can fix that. Hold on.
Multiply it, whatever you choose.
Let me know if that sounds better. I probably forgot to share the audio.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm thrilled to have on John McAfee, the founder of McAfee Antivirus and Ghost Token. John, how's it going?
It's good, Tom. Thank you for having me on. I'm very glad to be here, my friend.
So, John, we only have 30 minutes, so I want to jump right in. I got two quick overall questions, then I want to dive into Ghost. First question for you.
Thanks for letting me know when I screw up.
Crypto actually matters and it'll be ubiquitous. Like, is crypto a virus, or do you think it's the operating system that the world's going to be built on?
I mean, crypto is based on a mathematical formula called the blockchain. And the blockchain is the first technology that has not come from the bowels of the first world-changing technology that has not come from the bowels of a government black program within the military or from Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, or some other corporation. It came from the people. And the technology, by and large, has been open source. If it's not, we don't play with it. So open source means it's available to anybody. That what work you have done is now available to the world. That you can add to it, subtract from it, whatever you choose. This is well, it's a defining moment in the evolution of the human mind, in my mind. And the first application for the blockchain was cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency, the first application of cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, which has far outlived its life expectancy. I mean, good God Almighty, it's 11 years old. It has no privacy. You can't put smart contracts on that blockchain. You can't run distributed applications. It would add world-changing technology that has not come from the bowels of a government black.
Sorry, I walked away. It was my fault. It was turned down. Is that better?
From, IBM, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, or some other corporation. It came from the people. And the technology, by and large, has been open source. If it's not,
we're still clunky here.
We don't play with it. So open source means it's available to anybody. That what work you have done is now available to the world. That you can add to it, subtract from it, multiply it, whatever you choose.
Full disclosure, I went to get a beer and I didn't see your comments. That's why I was defining so bad. Sorry.
In the evolution of the human mind, in my mind. And the first application for the blockchain was cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency, the first application of cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, which has far outlived its life expectancy. I mean, good God Almighty, it's old. It has no privacy. You can't put smart contracts on that blockchain. You can't run distributed applications. For 4 years, Bitcoin was all that the people on the dark web accepted for payment. Now, the dark web, which is the criminal element of the world, and criminals always are the first to accept new technologies. I mean, good God Almighty, when the telephone came out, who were the first adopters? The mob. I mean, they had nationwide phone systems so that they could coordinate nationwide criminal activity. What about the 8-cylinder automobile that came out in 1932? Criminals, gangsters bought it. Why? You could escape the police because you were twice as fast as them.
Nobody's catching you in that. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Nobody's catching you in the V8 back then. That's
Yeah, no. If you got a 6-cylinder Buick, you're not going to catch an 8-cylinder Oldsmobile. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. So bank robberies increased tenfold in the early 30s because criminals had the money. The police departments didn't. They had to run their cars till they were not running anymore. No, the gangsters got the latest cars. They got the latest phones. Now they're getting the latest cryptocurrency. What is the latest cryptocurrency? It's
pause here and interject for a little bit, and then we'll jump back into the video. But so he's talking about just like cryptocurrency and all this stuff. And again, the title of this interview and this video is that he thinks cryptocurrency is going to go to zero. That's what he's going to argue. And I want to bring back some of the weird stuff we were talking about last night, where we're talking about how this whacked cryptocurrency looks like it's trying to nuke itself, but it's also trying to upload information to the internet through an NFT type of crypto. And he does talk about some other layers of encryption that he's aware of that can make crypto even stronger, because crypto is a binary, and he's talking about a 3-level or a 3-tier encryption with the same concept in some of his tweets later. So yeah, he's an interesting cat, and the only way to get that information off of the internet, if he did store some stuff in some NFTs, some people have hypothesized would be to nuke blockchain. And if they nuke blockchain, what happens? All crypto, 99.9% all crypto is dust, so who knows? It may be crypto, maybe Bitcoin will go to zero. We'll see, but I'm going to keep going here.
Monero. Everybody fucking knows this, people. Nobody accepts Bitcoin anymore. What was the value of Bitcoin? The value was its use as a usable cryptocurrency. And for 4 years, everybody in the dark web used Bitcoin. Why? Infinitely superior to credit cards, which could be traced to a bank account. Now, nobody in the fucking world accepts Bitcoin, people. I'm sorry, I wish they did, but they don't. What do they accept? Monero. The world's most private privacy coin. Because if you send me $100 worth of Bitcoin, or I send you the same, forever after, each of us can look in our wallets and see how much do we have, what comes in and from whom, what goes out and to whom. Now, if a plumber came to your house and fixed a leaky sink, you wrote them a check for $20 and they went to your bank and said, hi, I have
This is a cool point right here.
A check from John McAfee for $20. can you tell me how much money he has? And the bank goes, oh, absolutely. He's got X amount. And he goes, good. Can you please tell me what his last 20 deposits were and who they were from? The bank goes, absolutely, no fucking problem. And you go, and now,
right. They want to track this through the script.
from forever after,
he might be
every
nuking
time
crypto
something
in his
comes
head.
into or
I wouldn't
leaves,
download any shit
Mr. McAfee's account,
from him.
would you please notify me? And the bank goes, sure, absolutely. That, my friends, is what Bitcoin is. Please,
John,
God.
what do you think though about?
Hold on. We're going to pause this video for a second. And I'm going to interject a different video for a second. And we'll go back to that one. Because I want you guys to see this other thing. This is something else. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Let's see if this is it. Nope. Hold on. We got to take that one down. Get rid of it. Once I've played it, I got to get in the habit of getting rid of them. Make this easier. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. This is relevant to what I want to show you and what he's kind of talking about. Here we go. This is it. We're going here to Twitter. This is Zach Voorhees. Follow him on Twitter.
When I went on the run in Belize, I had friends in the U.S. Embassy in Belize. I knew what was coming down. I'm not stupid. I had arranged with the head of security. I was going to come in. He said, sir, we have it from the highest authority. We are not to allow you entry into the U.S. Embassy. Understand me. Who was the highest authority of the State Department? Hillary Clinton. I'm an American citizen with a American passport. I'm sorry. I'm not wanted in America. I've got no crimes in America. Is it not a reason to say, I don't think I'm going to vote for you?
And yet you're here now.
For a month and a half, I was on the run. The reason that the government wanted to collect me was that after they had raided my property in 2012 in the jungle, shot my dog, abused me, destroyed $500,000 worth of my property over a bogus charge, I was pissed off. And so I donated to many secretaries within the government laptop computers, really nice ones that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring, listening. I was looking for information that they had set me up.
I don't think he's fucking bluffing here.
I didn't find that. I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. And the Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
We don't want to get killed by them either, so we're probably not going to.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so what y'all think of that? We're going to go back into the video we were just watching now. But yeah, just for context, I wanted to throw that in there just to spice it up and let y'all think about that interview. So apparently he loaded spyware into a bunch of government computers and fucking infiltrated a bunch of shit. So that is what it is. Hold on, we gotta go back to our here we go. We'll go back into here. All right, we'll go back into here. All right, sorry.
Monero's great for private transactions and stuff, but people just trust Bitcoin. It's 200 times larger than Monero. So how do you think?
It's not larger than Monero. It's not. It's nothing. You're talking about the fucking market. The market is created, monitored, and maintained by people who know nothing about cryptocurrency, my friend. They're institutional fucking investors. No, Monero is the only goddamn currency that's used. Nobody uses Bitcoin. People trade Bitcoin, but you and I and everybody knows that eventually people are going to catch up and catch on and go, oh, fuck me. Bitcoin's worthless. It is worthless. You know it's worthless. Please, God, what is the worth of a cryptocurrency? The use of it.
So
Monero.
So Monero's going to overtake Bitcoin. That's what you think, like long term, or do you think?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
I don't think he's arguing about coins here. I think he's arguing about the use of the platform of cryptocurrency and what it is, the blockchain to some extent. I don't know. That's just me.
Please, God, let's wake up people. Why was Bitcoin eventually worth as much as it was originally? because it was used as a fucking currency. Nobody will use Bitcoin anymore. It's old, clunky, slow, expensive, with zero privacy. Nobody uses it. It's a piece of shit that the world has not understood yet.
So, John, just to play devil's advocate, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they're trying to add more privacy features to Bitcoin, right? Taproot, all right.
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Yes, like there's a lot you can add to a Model T Ford to make it a fucking space rocket. Good God, wake up, my friend. No, it's stupid. Fucking please, God. You look like a man with a brain.
That comment was
you know
relevant
better
again.
than this. You fucking know better.
John, I agree with you on the need for privacy. I mean, it's just not a reality.
Not just privacy, not just privacy. Show me how the fuck you put a smart contract on the Bitcoin blockchain. Impossible. Well, what use is a goddamn blockchain without a smart contract? Everybody has a smart contract except Bitcoin. What about a distributed application? You can't put dApps.
Smart contracts there.
You can't put dApps on a. Please, God, please wake the fuck up. If you actually believe Bitcoin is worth more than 5 cents, then please explain that to me.
So John, where's the money going to flow, though? I mean, why are people buying Bitcoin today if it's not?
Because they're stupid. They don't understand the blockchain. That's why they don't understand cryptocurrency. That's why. Please wake up, people. Please, God.
So, John, let's talk about your new token, Ghost. You guys have a lot of. I mean, this is really well thought out. You have a full white paper on it. All the privacy features you're going to be adding to it. You know, how is this going? Is this live? Is this being released right now? What's the status of Ghost?
It's the main net is going live on the 22nd of this month. We already have done the airdrop to people with EtherShare. I just yesterday announced the Ghost telephone on which the Ghost privacy coin will be based. And also today we announced the Ghost exchange, the first distributed exchange which you can exchange a privacy coin on. You can exchange it for Bitcoin, you can exchange it for Ethereum, DAI. Those are the 3 most popular. It's all absolutely anonymous and private. Please, if you think that that people are
So he kind of sounds like he's grifting a little bit, right? Like he's like trying to like convince people to like play with different coins or whatever. I'm not really sure, but who knows, man? I don't know. This guy's he's a dig, man. He's a dig. I want to pop this comment up real quick, but I'm going to keep this interview going, but just for the sake of trying to kind of break stuff up because it's long, I'm going to throw in something that I thought was funny because I saw something in the comments I wanted to reply to with a short video. But Karscar was saying that, fucking he sounds like me. I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know where he goes. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. There was the Karscar made a comment about how this guy sounds like me. Here's another guy that sounds like me is this other guy here. We're gonna go check this guy out for a second. Here's one of my favorite poets, Charles Bukowski. I think that me and him have some things in common as well. So we're gonna interrupt this broadcast of John McAfee going off and doing his weird shit. To listen to Charles Bukowski talk about dying and how to die and write. Because, yeah, it's my show and I can do whatever the hell I want.
No. In fact, I almost feel good at the approach of death.
Why? You have a nice wife.
All that's okay. But you see, as you live many years, things take on a repeat. Is that ended? Are you ended?
No, it's okay.
Things take on a repeat. You understand? You keep seeing the same thing over and over again. The same substance, the same action, the same reaction. So you get a little bit tired of life. So as death comes, you almost say, okay, baby, it's time. It's good. So I know I have very little fear of death. In fact, I almost welcome it.
Did you ever read Malcolm Lowry's Under the Volcano?
Yeah, I did, and I yawned myself to shit.
Why?
Why? Because like any other writer, there's no pace, there's no quickness in his lines. There's no life, there's no sunlight. When you write, your words must go like this. Bim, 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 bim. Each line must be full of a delicious little juice, flavor. They must be full of power. They must make you like to turn a page. Bim, bim, bim. What these guys do, they say, well, in blah, 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 da, 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 there was a porch chair. The flies were walking around leisurely. They're setting up the scene for the grand emotion. And when they get to the grand emotion, there isn't any. This is a different age. It's the atomic age. Each line must have its own power, its own feeling, its own juice, its own flavor. Writing must never be boring. It must not bore the reader, the writer. It must not bore anybody. You have to have juice in each line, don't you see? You don't believe me, but I'm trying to tell you. I get so... Writers put me to sleep.
Just for the fun of doing that, I'll probably go back to him in a minute, man. But yeah, you reminded me when you said that John McAfee sounds like me. That might not be too wrong. Me late night, and I think Charles Bukowski is also in the mix. Let's keep going back and watching this just to keep it interesting. We'll go watch the rest, some more of this interview at least. But John McAfee's something else, man. We got one back.
People want a coin in which every fucking transaction that you made is visible to the entire fucking world. What insanity is this? Please, God. I mean, it makes no sense. So every transaction you make, what balance you have in your fucking wallet, everywhere you send money. Let's say, if you and I exchange $5 worth of Bitcoin, from now on, if you send $400,000 to a Bitcoin address in England, which everybody knows what the addresses are, it's really the Rolls Royce of London. I'm going to go, hey, which Rolls Royce did you buy? Please, God, wake up, people. It's a worthless fucking piece of shit. We all know it.
So, John, when do people realize it, though? I mean, when? So
I don't give a shit
right.
when they realize. It's not my problem. I don't give a shit. All I'm doing is understanding what does have value. No, who cares? Who cares? Here's the problem with the cryptocurrency world. People are using it as a way to make money by exchanging. Do you understand the stupidity of that? Cryptocurrency is the golden fucking key to unlock your cage of financial slavery, people. And you're using it to scratch your fucking asses by exchanging it on exchanges. Cryptocurrency is not a goddamn market, people. It's a reality.
I'll tell you, man, he can go on and on and on. Like, this guy's going to keep going, man. There's like 10 more minutes to this video at least. He's rambling. He's a rambling man. And I understand it because I was born a rambling man too. But, man, he's got a lot of shit to say. This is a deep video. There's a lot lot to unpack in this crap because he's arguing about what's wrong with the whole crypto system.
Fucking reality. Monero is the only, well, and DAI.
And this may
Monero
be
is
how the
AI
FBI
that
tagged him and
realizes
got him because he's
cryptocurrency.
promoting his
The rest is
Monero, or
all
he's investing in Monero,
guys
which may have been a
trying to make
bunk
money off it.
crypto.
No, fuck you.
This might have been the whole
Can't.
like
Fuck you.
idea behind the case. I'm not really sure.
So John, I guess what you're saying is that the exchanging, the storing value, that's all whatever. The real value is in changing the way people interact, communicate, stuff like that on a global basis. So all the financial, like the DeFi stuff, is kind of useless. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that cryptocurrency is a goddamn currency. Crypto currency. Those who use it as currency will create the value for that currency, which is why Monero is now worth 1,000 times more than Bitcoin, even though the markets don't represent it. I don't give a shit. In 5 years, it will represent it because people are smart enough. No, the value of any cryptocurrency is what is its use. DAI, what's its use? Never varies more than 1% from the US dollar. Well, not just DAI, you can pick stable coins based on anything, diamonds, the euro, a basket of currencies. I haven't seen one about the length of anybody's dick yet, but I expect them to. No, these are.
There you go. Classic John McAfee. I'm not going to play the rest of this interview because, like I said, we've got another 10 minutes on top of what I did there, and I'm not going to let it take up the whole show. It's quite a long video. Feel free to check it out. I did post a link in the comments. So if you're watching this later, just click on the live comments, and when that video comes up, you'll see it. I might add it to the description later as well. All right, so where are we going to go from here? I think I have a couple other things to share with you. Let me see what else I got up here. So, this is a fun video. Hold on. Where is it? So this is how Kamala was greeted at the border for her visit. This was a fun video I saw earlier today, so we'll check this out.
Good morning, America. This is Irina Armendariz Jackson in El Paso, Texas, and I'm here to say, Kamala, you came a little too late. We have had this crisis for years. We need solutions. We don't need you parading in the Border Patrol station or acting like you care. Americans matter. America matters. God bless you, America.
Yeah, so that's fun. What else we got to share with you? I heard a couple other things. I'm winding down here unless anybody else wants to jump in and come hang out and talk. If anyone wants to come and talk, I'll post a Streamlabs link here in a second. But this is an interesting one I saw. So hold on, shit, I did it wrong. Wait a second. My bad. I have to share the audio. Give me a second. So I saw this. I thought this was an interesting thing. So this is out of Canada. This guy admits he doesn't want people gathering because they might spread info that contradicts the narrative. Let's check this video out together real quick.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my questions. I'm wondering about the injunction banning public gatherings and whether there really is a need for such a far-reaching one given the trajectory we're on now.
So, I mean, I think it's still there. We still have bringing large numbers of people together. It can present some risk. We'll continue to look at that. But I think the other purpose of the injunction is to prevent groups that are spreading deliberately spreading false information that can actually create risk. The information itself, if listened to, creates risk to the public as well. So, and that certainly is a need to manage that misinformation campaign as well.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my questions. I'm wondering about the injunction banning public gatherings and whether there really is a need for such a far-reaching one given the trajectory we're on now.
So, I mean, I think it's still there. We still have bringing large numbers of people together. It can present some risk. We'll continue to look at that. But I think the other purpose of the injunction is to prevent groups that are spreading deliberately spreading false information that can actually create risk. The information itself, if listened to, creates risk to the public as well. So, and that certainly is a need to manage that misinformation campaign as well.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my questions.
You see that? Well, it's risky if they hear some information that contradicts what we're talking about. Yeah, that's crazy shit. I don't know. Anyway. Posted up the link if anyone wants to call in chat. If not, probably gonna end to keep this a little short and sweet and kind of where we left it. I'm gonna end with a Charles Bukowski poem that I really dig, unless anyone else wants to come in and hang out. So we're gonna play this guy here. And again, Scotty didn't what I was playing with his thing here. This is Charles Bukowski All the Way is what we're going to listen to. It's a great poem by him, one of my favorites by far. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to share my audio. Give me a second. Technological stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. We're gonna close out with this here.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Oh yeah. So thanks everybody for joining me. Please, if you watch this later, after today, after the live, please go ahead and like, subscribe. If I get to 100 subscribers, I'm trying to meet Major Dave next week for July 3rd, and I want to be able to live broadcast the stream. I can do it on my phone, but I have a goal of trying to get to 100 subscribers before then. I've set a new goal. Apparently, in order to back up my entire YouTube channel on Odyssey, I need 300 subscribers. So that's a much, much bigger goal. But I think you guys can help me achieve that. So please like, subscribe, share, do all the things. And I hope you all have a great night. Peace out, everybody.